Hi everyone, it's been a while. Welcome back to my channel. Right now it is 4:27 on Tuesday, July 20th. I have my cat Pepper right here and my other cat Winter's all the way down there. First thing that might be a bit different is the accent thing. I'll talk about that in a second, but I don't know, I haven't filmed in a bit and I kind of wanted to just do an update and catch up with everyone. Okay, so I'll start from like the most obvious thing is the accent. I didn't do it with like any intentionality. I actually got an MRI done because of it, and I see the neurologist next month and they're gonna read the results to confirm whether or not it's foreign accent syndrome. But like, it could be like something else, or like I could be doing it for whatever reason, but this is just how I talk now. And sometimes it goes Australian, New Zealand, very, very English. I kind of sound like, my boyfriend's like, you sound like a mix of different kinds. And I've had somebody that looked at me the other day and like, you're from New Zealand, or like, you're from Australia. What part of England are you from? I've even had a French one a couple times, so that's been a little bit different. But personally, as long as it's like something I prefer, I find it very fun. I'd say it does get weird when like people ask me where are you from, and I was like, I'm from here. I'm like, but you have an accent. And I was like, yeah. I just say I have a condition because I don't like to lie. I just say, and I can't even remember my lies anyways if I do lie. So I just say I have a condition, but then that gets into like, what's the condition? Well, I don't know quite yet because I haven't been properly diagnosed. So I say I'll just maybe tell them like the gist of my situation. And then they go like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, it turns into a whole situation. I don't know, but I quite like having it. Like, I'll test myself sometimes. I can't quite tell what's the accent yet. And then like somebody will hear me talk and they'll go, that sounds exactly like this place, or like you're from this place. So usually in the morning I recite like my ABCs or something. And I just try to think like, let's pronounce things as American as possible. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, I'm already like trying to do American, but I can't quite do it unless I'm reading like a paragraph. I did get some stuff from my course today, so I'll show you guys that in a second, but I'm trying to look for like a sentence on here. So I can kind of speak in my accent that I used to have, but it doesn't feel quite right. Like, it feels very off. Okay, let me read. I'll read the warranty. And it takes like a lot of my focus and concentration as well. This product is warranted to be free of deficits in material and workmanship for as long as the original consumer owns the product. So I don't know, I read the sentence, but you can see it takes me quite a lot of focus, and it's not that easy to do. Like, I don't know, it's like I have to like feel like I have to fix my voice to speak like that, and I don't even know if it sounds quite right. I'm just kind of going for like maybe how I used to sound, but I don't even know how it quite sounds at this point. It's been helpful to look back on some of the videos I've done and be like, okay, this is what it sounded like. But I just have to wait till August for, beginning of August for the official diagnosis. So I think around the last time I checked in, it was like very early in this year. So quite a few things have changed. In May, I moved into this apartment. It's a bit expensive, but I don't know, I really like it. Like, I felt like I've become very happy here, and I've been working a lot on my independence as well, and I'm kind of getting everything together here. Well, it's a little out of my budget, but I don't know, I quite like it. And there's like elevators for my building, which is nice because sometimes if like after I had surgery, I had to come back to here and I could just hop in the elevator, and it made it so easy. And there's like a mail room, they'll get your packages for you so that way nothing gets stolen. There's security cameras everywhere, and there's like a full 24-hour gym, which is nice because while I'm recovering, I do some exercises in my apartment, but I have a whole physical therapy list of exercises that they want me to do. So I find those are better to do in the gym. So we talked about therapy. Let me go through the different kinds. So I take occupational and physical therapy right now. I did take speech therapy, so let me talk about speech therapy really quick. So when I first woke up, I couldn't really talk a lot because I pulled out my tube so many times. So my voice got very hoarse. And then what else? Oh, and then like I couldn't spell either. So I had like a lot of deficits. Like I really like Sudoku puzzles, and I remember like we got the newspaper in that day, and there was like the most basic Sudoku puzzle, and I tried to do it, and I couldn't even fill it out in the hospital. Like it was so hard. Like it was on very, very easy, and it was so hard. I couldn't do it. But I've been working hard, and I'm taking a class on the psychology of academic success right now, and we're learning about like learning and motivation, but I've been learning more stuff about brain injuries. So they said one of the biggest things for people with brain injuries is like knowing that they have a deficit somewhere. Like that can be very helpful for when they're trying to learn, so that way they can view that deficit and try to improve upon it. So I'd say, because I have a background in therapy, so I work in children's therapy as a RBT, which is a registered behavior technician. I work under behavior therapists, and we do like programs, like different kinds of programs. We teach children how to play with toys, how to go to the bathroom, do other things like that. So like I had to learn how to wash my hands over again. So I just taught myself the way I remembered, kind of with the kids, and like sang a little song that I remembered that I would sing for them. And what else? Sorry, I get off track quite easily. That's another thing. I do have ADHD now, like really, really bad ADHD. I have trouble focusing. I'm actually on medication for it to help me focus. So let me backtrack a lot. So we were talking about speech. So I had speech in acute rehab, which is what I went to after the hospital because I couldn't walk by then, and they needed to send me like to rehab to get a little bit better. So I had speech therapy, and they helped me get a little faster at talking. But I used to talk very, very slow, sort of like when I was reading, but I used to talk like, "Hi, how are you today?" Or like I had to take my time with everything. So I talk very, very slow. And so they helped me speed it up just a bit and do like little exercises. But when I got home, I did a lot of work on like all this stuff because I didn't see a speech therapist until like late January, and I got home like around Christmas time. And I don't know, I was reading books. I was like looking up strategies I could do. I was practicing spelling. I was practicing puzzles, and I downloaded a bunch of games that they recommended. So I was just testing myself all the time, and I kept doing like vocab apps, so to learn new vocab. I was prepping with like writing and whatnot, so I was trying to become a better writer. And I feel like that helped me because by the time I went back, I was very close to like being below average. I was below average while I was in the hospital, but I tested right at the average line. So I didn't have too much, just like basically I can give you like maybe 1 or 2 more lessons, and then insurance, they won't give you anymore. So I was like, okay. So I took those, and then I saw a speech pathologist in like a couple months ago, like maybe 3 months ago, and she tested me too. And she says you have like very good strategies to kind of compensate. And so basically I test like average now. Like I do pretty good. But the problem that I've had is like I test average, so I can't get any more help. So it's kind of like it's all up to me to like get my mind going and look up the ways to help my mind as well. So that's the only part that kind of sucks, but at least I'm like at a good level. I like to say that I'm like everybody else now. I'm just, you know, average. I used to have excellent like memory recall, and I could remember things at the drop of a hat. I remembered things very vividly. Now I kind of remember the gist of things. Sorry, I gotta take a little water break. And yeah, now I kind of remember the gist of things. And what else? Yeah, nothing's really vivid. Oh, that's another problem I had. When I was in acute rehab, I noticed I couldn't seem to remember anyone. Like I would see their face and I just would not recognize them. And so I still kind of have that now. It's called propagnosia or something like that. It's called, or face blindness. That might show up in my MRI, but I've noticed like I've had people I know and they step in front of me and I'm like, are you gonna move out of the way, sir, madam? And they're like, I didn't say it quite yet. And they're like, oh, hi, are you going this way? And like they stop talking to me and I recognize their voice and I'm like, oh, that's this person. Like I knew it was them. But I literally will have someone sit across from me at work or something and they'll say hi to me. And they say, oh, I haven't seen you. And I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. Like, it's so embarrassing sometimes. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I just kind of go along with it and then I go check the employee wall with all the pictures. I'm like, oh, that's them. That makes sense. Yeah, that looked like them. Like, sometimes I can't quite tell who's who unless they're in like the same office or they kind of have a certain look about them, but if they change something I might not recognize. So I've been trying to just look for like specific things about that person, or like maybe their voice, I'll try that, or like something very specific, like I had someone who I thought was bald and much older, but he was actually younger and had a full head of hair. So sometimes I confuse things, so that makes it a little bit difficult. And then let's see, what's the next thing I could go over? I had this thing called, I think it's called Dysfagia. I might be wrong about that, but basically because I pulled out my tubes so many times, I think it was about 3 maybe. I couldn't swallow, like, so when I ate, I couldn't swallow my food. So I had to be on like a liquid diet, then go to puree, then go to soft foods, and then they let me have like bite-sized pieces, but they stopped me at bite-sized because I did a swallow study. So they literally like watch you swallow on camera and they see how your throat does. So I still can't really use straws that well. I kind of have to block my tongue from like making the straw hit the back of my throat because then I'll end up choking. And for a while I had to do like this and hold down and swallow. So I don't quite have that problem as much anymore, but I do still kind of struggle with the straw sometimes. And sometimes I'll eat something not quite as bite-sized and I'll have a problem with it. Like I try to keep all my food bite-sized, which is a little tricky, but as long as I do that, I tend not to have a problem with it. Let's think of another thing. Oh, so broken bones. So I did break my pelvis. I broke my shoulder. I thought I had broke my leg bone, like the top of it, but I didn't actually. I just got that confused. So I broke my shoulder and then I broke my pelvis and I didn't break anything else. And then I got the traumatic brain injury, which I think I did mention. I had like a intracranial hemorrhage, I think it's called. And then what else? Oh, I had something on my leg called a Level Moral lesion. So basically when I was hit by the car, it made one of the blood vessels in my leg kind of explode. So basically it looked like under my skin was a basketball and it was just filled with like blood and other tissues and whatnot. So I got surgery to get a lot of that out, but then by the time it all came out, just imagine your skin kind of looking like you had 2 tennis balls under it. That's how it looked. It had like a lot of scar tissue and a lot of damage there. So my second surgery was last month and they took a lot of that out. So now it looks a lot flatter, but I still have to wear like Spanx and shapewear and compression pants. So that way it looks a lot smoother. So I've been doing that and I have to massage it as well. So that was the injuries that I went over. I had to go over one more thing. Oh, so we talked about speech therapy. So basically I said I tested like good, so I don't need help with that stuff anymore. That's up to me now. Then I have occupational therapy. So, and then I'll talk about physical therapy a little bit. So I have occupational therapy. So basically I was hit on the right side, and I have some physical things like the thing on my leg, the Morale-Lavelle lesion, and I had the broken shoulder, but left side, much worse. Like, it's very weak. I think it's due to my brain injury, but I have thenar atrophy in my hand. I don't know if you can quite see it, but like some of my muscles have deteriorated, and I did have like a ring on this hand and a ring on ring here, and it was a size 5, and then a lot of the jewels fell out, so I went to go get a new ring, and my hand measured at 4.5 this time, and one of my hands is smaller, and they're both kind of different colors. They compared them, and they like felt for like fat and muscles and whatnot, and they're like, yeah, thenar atrophy. So I have that in my hand. Then I also, on the left side, I have a heart condition now. It's called Sinus Tachycardia. They're still like testing as to why that is happening, but I think it might have to do with the brain injury. So when I see the neurologist next month, maybe they can tell me something. I have to have another echocardiogram done. So I had one when I went to my 3rd hospital. I went to so many hospitals, acute rehab, and it turned out normal, but I've been still having lots of heart problems. Like, I'll get palpitations and whatnot, and I don't know. So it turned out normal, but there's always a chance it can change. So I've been having a lot more heart things going on, and then I have a lot of left side weakness and balance issues. So they'll kind of tell me when I see the neurologist, is this why this is happening? And then, so basically I do like exercises for my hands. So I'll do pussy. So right now I'm on the green pussy. I've been going through a bunch of different colors, but they changed it to the green one. In therapy, they have like different colored bands, different colored putties to like describe how easy or hard it is. So right now I'm on the green one. I did go through the yellow and the red, so now I'm on the green. And then for physical therapy, I'm on the green band. And I have to do like a lot of things for my hands every day. And they shake. I have a tremor on my left hand. I don't know if you can kind of see it. Maybe a little bit. And that hand tends to shake a lot. Like, after I do occupational therapy, I leave like the session, and my hand's like this all the time. And then what else? I don't know. I have bad depth perception. So like, if you're going down the stairs, you can probably anticipate when the next stair is coming, but I can't anticipate that. And that's another reason why I'm not driving right now. It's like, I can't tell how far cars are away. So I'm excused from driving until December, but I'm gonna try again in like maybe November. Just maybe try going around the block. Because now that I'm on the focus medication, it helps me quite a bit. So I kind of want to see if that's improved when I get in the car. Because if it hasn't improved, then maybe I need to up the dosage a little bit, or like wait longer. That's another thing. I signed up for Access Transportation. So I just finished like all the sign up processes for it. So I should be getting that service in like a week to 2 weeks. And then I can just book like trips to my work, and maybe to the grocery store or the mall, and they'll take me, so I don't have to take Uber as much, which I have been taking Uber a lot, but sometimes my boyfriend does take me. And then what else? I don't know. That's kind of it for the occupational therapy stuff. So moving into physical therapy, I'm still doing physical therapy. I think they have to follow me for like another 10 weeks to make sure I'm good, because I did have surgery last month, but I just keep getting evals, and they're like, you need more time. So I have me doing a lot of different exercise on this app called like MedBridge Go. And I've been doing a lot of exercises. I'm trying to get stronger. I'm supposed to get my core stronger. I'm supposed to get, my arms stronger and my legs stronger. Like, basically just become very, 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 very healthy and good. Since my accident, I've lost around like 20 pounds. So that's kind of like a plus, but like, I can't really call it a plus because basically like I couldn't eat anything for a while, and I still have very little appetite, so I can't eat lots of things anymore. But that's just the cards you're dealt sometimes. So I don't know, I'm just trying to keep it up and do the exercise so that way I can stay nice and healthy. But But yeah, I go there about once a week. I used to have it like every day when I was in acute rehab, and very few days I would have a day off. And then what else? I know I've seen like a bunch of different therapists, but basically I have like a team of people helping me. And then I signed up for the for a traumatic brain injury group on Facebook, because I was like, I think that would probably be helpful, because the thing is, I don't know how, like, I don't know the answer, but I know how to get the answer. So like, if I was in a group and I had a question, I knew I could ask somebody that question rather than just searching for something that might not give me all the information I need, like on Google. So that was helpful. A lot of people gave me some good information. It was like nice to see a lot of stories on there and see how everybody's handling it. So I don't know, I kind of have that group on mute because it can get a little bit depressing. So I just look at it when I want to, or like when I need to, and then maybe I'll turn it on now and then. But I found it on Facebook. Facebook has like a lot of good groups, and I was moving, so I asked for help for like resources for moving, and somebody told me that the Independent Living Center of Southern California, they can give me resources, which is what I have now. And so I've been seeing like a brain injury counselor from there, and she helped me realize that I wasn't really socializing a lot. I wasn't doing anything all day, and they're helping me to get a wheelchair to pay me back for like I think it's called like equipment like that I use. So I use a walker, I use a cane, I use like a shower thing. So I think they're helping me to pay me back for those things that I bought. And then what else? Oh, and then they do this thing called Cog Smart with me. So they go over everything that I might have, well, to teach me strategies, and it helps me because like maybe I didn't realize I needed to work on the strategy. But it's nice because like when I have a question, I can go to my counselor and she can tell me more about what I'm asking about, and she can also give me really good advice, or like she'll notice maybe I have a deficit in this area, so maybe we need to work on these certain things. So basically it's just having like an outside perspective that's not your family. Speaking of family, I have to get to that in a second, but I found that's very helpful. And then I'm in process of signing up for the Department of Rehabilitation. So I go this Thursday and I'll finish signing up. I sent some paperwork in, but they need me to go in and just finish it all up. So I'll go there and I'll be interested to see what resources they can get me. And then, back to family. So the thing with family is like, I only talk to my mom. I didn't talk to my dad because of my whole accident thing. I don't like the way he acted. So for a long time I was saying like, oh, my parents are taking care of everything. But I think I was more saying that because that's what they told me. Like, oh, we're taking care of everything. You don't have to worry about anything. So then I just kept remembering those words, and it wasn't necessarily correct. So I had a huge thing with my family. But if you guys want to hear more about that, I can make it like another video. But I had a huge thing with my family, and in short, I don't really like the medical decisions that they made for me. Like, they make decisions based on what they want, not what I would want. And I don't like the decisions that they made based on what they want. I wouldn't choose that for myself. Like, I was very happy when I was an adult, and I went to see my pediatrician for like the last time-ish. Like, it took me a bit to like transfer over doctors. So he like offered me to give me all the vaccines that I had not gotten. Like, my mother never took me for a flu shot. She didn't really like vaccines. She just got me the very basic ones that I needed. But that was kind of a problem because in high school a lot and in middle school I would get the flu a lot, and I got pneumonia quite often and bronchitis quite often. So I do wish that she would have just given those to me. So I don't like the choices that she's made with that. So that aside, I decided I need to look up more information on this. So I looked up more information and I found this thing called, I think it's called a medical directive. So you basically choose who you'd want to make decisions for you. So as of now, I have chosen my boyfriend and my best friend. I talked to them about it with both of them, and we discussed it quite a lot. and they know what decisions I want. My boyfriend, he's even told me, like, even if we broke up, I would make decisions in your best interest. But there is like a thing that you can dissolve it if you ever want to. But I did talk to them about the decisions that I'd want, and I wrote it out. I think I wrote a living will on LegalZoom, so I'm just waiting for the paperwork to come in so I can sign it. So if an event happens and I'm incapacitated, I think it's called, they'll make the decisions for me, and I have some of it where like they have to make the decisions together, or it's just fine for one person, or yeah, but basically they have to make decisions based on what I told them, but also I put what I told them in the living will, so that way it makes it easier. So it's kind of makes sure that I get a say in what I want for my care, and I really like that because I like having a say in what would happen to me, you know? It makes me feel better, because when I was in the hospital, I didn't have much of a say, and I don't know, I don't really like that. So I like having a say in my own things. The only thing I kind of got away with in the hospital was like, they brought me like papers to sign, like my family, and because I was very confused all the time for a while, and the social worker came to see like if I was really like out of it, like could I sign papers, and I think she asked me to sign papers, and I told her like, I'm sorry, I'm too confused right now, I'm not myself, I can't sign papers. And so she was like, oh, she doesn't need like someone to make decisions for her, she just needs help. So I do still need help with some decisions every now and then. So yeah, so that's one thing I'm doing. I have to wait for like around a year after my surgery, and then I can apply for like life insurance again. And then I have to get like a couple other wills done, like wills concerning my finances, wills concerning what I have. But I don't know, I'm getting that done little by little, so I can only do so much. I get quite tired from overexerting myself. So yeah, that's kind of been what's going on. If you have any questions or need help or something, I can't help entirely, but I can maybe point you in the way of some resources if you're looking, or if you have any questions about my accident. I haven't met anybody else with a brain injury yet. I've just maybe heard stories from other people, or I'm just in the brain injury group. So I don't know, I kind of quite like to see people who are in a similar situation. I'm sort of in a place where like they think like I'm doing good enough, but like I am also disabled, so basically I'm like, everything's so much harder, but like I can do it, but it's so much harder. Like just thinking, like I had a very, very small breakfast today, and I didn't have like lunch until I got home, but then I ended up having it like 3:30, because sometimes I'm too tired to even cook for myself. So I don't know. Another thing that I've gotten done, I'll just end on this. I have like I'll show it. I can't put it like in front, but I got this little bracelet. It's metal. I can link it down below on the Etsy, the shop that I got it from. But it says my name. It has a medical symbol. Then it has my diagnosis, like TBI and tachycardia. And then it has my emergency contact. So I have that. And then I also got a medical card, and it has all my allergies, more emergency contacts, more of my diet preferences, and because I've kind of expanded those a bit. I still don't eat red meat, and I shouldn't really eat it because of my heart, but I can't have caffeine either because of my heart, and I can't really have a lot of sugar because of my brain. It kind of hurts. So I have that little card that I just got from another Etsy shop. I'll try to link it down below. But yeah, and then I'm gonna reopen my Etsy shop next week on Monday. I forget what day of the week that is, but I'll put it down below. So that'll be nice to start that up again. A lot of people have been sending me messages wondering when it's going to open up. So I'm doing it next week. I think I'm gonna make my processing time a little bit longer because I can't move quite as quickly, and I'm gonna maybe like offer a little less, so that way I can make sure that I can get everything done. But let's see. I don't know. I have some homework and emails I have to get done today, But yeah, that's about it. And thank you for watching the video. And again, if you have any questions, you can leave them down below or any comments. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.